right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode 3 of season 2 of the Process 34 podcast.
Here we go.
Month of December. Month of December was sponsored by a good friend of mine, a longtime friend. His name is Josh Jones, and his family. So he approached me like, I don't know, it's been a couple months now probably. I was going through something in his life and basically wanted to, try Process 34, just give it a shot and see what happens. And he's been doing it. He did the whole challenge, loved it, and was like, I just really want to help out in some sort of way. Can I just sponsor a month for you or anything? So shout out to Josh, the Jones family. We appreciate it very much. And, it's been a good month.
He was one of the first ones on board, no?
No, actually, that was Josh Castle.
Yeah, Castle.
Yeah, that's Josh Castle. So this is a different Josh that we actually all used to hang out together, though. But it's super cool. I'm super grateful that he did that. That he did reach out and that it's helping him a lot. It's really nice. But he's like, I want to be your sponsor for the month of December. I'm like, come on, dude, whatever. Anybody's welcome. So thank you, Josh. We appreciate it, man.
Appreciate it.
The month of December was all about giving back.
I thought that was a really good theme for this month, giving back.
Definitely. Yes. And giving them the time of the season, or time of the year, I guess I should say, with a lot of present giving, and it's easy to get caught up in the getting part of it. And
Big
people
time.
forget the giving part, which I've always been more of a fan of the giving anyways. Just makes me feel really good inside, makes my spirit full. And it was a really good month for it. We do a lot of work for the Old Newsboys of Flint. And this year we were able to collect over $3,500.
So cool.
So like I had a tree, it's like a Christmas tree that you sell ornaments for basically, but the ornaments are just, you write your name on the ornament on the tree, right? So every $20 gets you an ornament. Every $20 supports one child for Christmas through the Old Newsboys. So I think the $3,500 was like 175 kids that we ended up providing a Christmas for. So that's just awesome. And that's just what we did. So there's tons of other volunteers. So hopefully they made out really nice this year. And I'm glad that we contributed what we did, because it's very, very cool. Your mom did it with us.
She did.
His grandpa, my dad, Randy, he helped out, which this is year 46, I believe, that he's been doing this. The annual paper sale, which every, I think it's the second Friday of every, maybe it's the first, I don't know. It's the first or second Friday of December every year. Old Newsboys does a paper sale, and that's where the majority of their donations come through. And he has been doing the paper sale for 46 years. Man, it's pretty freaking sweet. Yeah. And so it's kind of like handed down to us, and now, we're hoping to carry on this tradition as well. So
you have to, right?
Absolutely.
No, when you posted that one day that you raised $3,500, I was just like, my jaw dropped. It's like, wow, that's awesome.
Isn't that cool?
So cool.
So, like I was saying, we do the tree at my office through that, and just asking people on like Facebook, social media, and everything to help out. People have been Venmoing me all throughout December, sending me money for Old Newsboys.
That's nice.
Yeah, and then my friend's wife put one up at her work, and she was able to collect money, and then we did the paper sale. So all combined, $3,500. Nice. Pretty sweet.
Yeah.
We tried to really focus on helping others this month, and just giving back to the community, giving back to those that are less fortunate, just trying to help out and be good human beings. Yeah. And that's basically what it boils down to.
No child should go without Christmas presents, right?
No, absolutely not. And there's so many things you can give back to, and that's just one that we choose to, because it means a lot to our family. It's helped family members of ours in the past, and it feels really, it's a huge blessing to be able to be a part of that organization. So
can never go wrong with some good karma.
No, never. You can never have enough good karma.
Never.
You can definitely have too much bad karma, though.
Way too much.
Yeah. besides that, we did we spent a lot of time with the family this month, friends and family. It's one of my favorite things about the month of December is the holiday season and the amount of time you get to spend with friends and family, which sometimes that may be it for the year, or the most that you'll do it for the year, and just be able to appreciate that time, show gratitude for it, and just soak it up, be in the moment.
Yeah, soak it up. I've been soaking up every second being home. Just like immediately seeing my friends and then being with you guys every second I can.
Yeah, and
it's been so nice.
And how has that been your first official winter break from college?
It's cool. It's like everyone back home has stories now. So we hash it out, talk it up. How was our experience? It's been really sweet, all that good stuff. And I just feel like this sense of pressure is just like off of me.
Good.
Like I just feel so much more relaxed. I feel at home.
Yeah.
So it's nice.
Did the majority of your friends come home for a break? Or
all of them, yeah.
All of them did? Awesome. Mm-hmm. That's cool.
My friend Eddie, though, he actually plays hockey in Wisconsin, though. So he was home the 23rd, and then his flight goes out tomorrow.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
but that's like professional, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's back to back.
That's awesome. Was there anybody that you were like, I guess, who were you most excited to see? I should put it that way, that you haven't seen in a long time.
I was excited to see Eddie, but like, man, I rolled so deep. Like, yeah. I was just excited to see everyone because we're all just best friends. So it was cool.
And a lot of you go to school together, so it was like, so it's cool to see people that went away to other schools.
That's the crazy part because I go to school with these guys, but like, I don't see them.
Oh,
I barely see them, man. So.
True, because you're wrestling and everything. That makes sense. It's been awesome. We had Ella for a few extra days, and we had this was the first year that we hosted Christmas Eve brunch at our house with Candace's family, and it was really nice. It
looked like a good time.
Yeah, it went really nice. Definitely appreciate the host of these parties a lot more because there's a lot that goes into it. It is it's so worth it just to see how happy your family is and everything. Mm-hmm. But getting through the process of getting to that point is like, you question yourself a lot. You question, you're like, sure we want to do this, but
clean the house for 3 days straight.
Yeah. And it's like, and then, everyone shows up and it's, you think all these things that you think these people are going to like care about or notice. Mm-hmm. It's like, nobody notices this stuff, and it's not a bad thing. It's just like, you get so caught up, like, wanting everything to be perfect, that it's just like, that didn't even matter.
It's funny you say that. I've been like seeing these memes on TikTok and stuff. It's like someone opens up the front door, your guest, and they immediately sprint to the bedroom to see if your room's clean or something.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. No, or like, I don't know, like those baseboards are a little dusty, so
questionable.
But at the end of the day, I guess, it was like a lot of things were cleaned and organized that probably wouldn't have been otherwise, so take what you can get from it. We had a great time though. It was awesome. Would definitely do it in the future again. And, it makes you feel good too, being able to provide that for your family, so that's cool. I know you guys do it a lot, your mom and dad, and, it's like, we always just bring something. And
I love it.
Yeah,
I always love having big gatherings and stuff. It's cool.
Yeah, and like I said, you appreciate what these guys do even more so after you do it yourself.
And I feel like it's a good feeling to see other people having a good time in your house.
Exactly. Yeah, that does.
It's a very warm feeling.
Yeah, I agree on that one for sure. How about you? What about your month? What have you done? What have you been doing?
So there's actually not like Old Newsboys, but there are a ton of clubs at Michigan State that help provide for kids. So with the money I have, I gathered up some old change and stuff, and I donated some money to charities and stuff.
Nice.
Thought I'd give back a little bit, take some of my weekly allowance.
That's awesome.
So I did that, and then coming back home for Christmas break, right? Mm-hmm. Goodrich still has all their wrestling practices, so helping those guys out with wrestling, what I've learned, that's been like super cool. Just to like show them different things, and it's been helping me. Because like when you teach someone something, that always helps.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm like gotten better wrestling since I came home.
That's awesome though, and you don't always have to give back with like for financial reasons. Exactly. You can give back anytime. So you're giving back time and experience.
Time and experience. Yeah, perfect words.
So that's great. And I'm sure all of them were very receiving of it and just happy to have you around, period, right?
Right, yeah.
Good.
It's cool. Like a lot of the alumni guys come up there, so it's really cool to see all my old teammates and stuff, see how they're doing, what they've learned, piggyback off them. Yeah. So it's nice.
That's so cool. I've always thought about doing that, like in the past, just going back to old CA, old Carmen Ainsworth, and it would be cool just to show up to like a baseball practice and, check it out. But things have changed so much around there. I don't even know who the athletic director is. I don't think anymore, So that is cool that you're able to do that. And, you are still, I feel like, especially the wrestling program there, it's just kind of like, it's so much of a family. It's so tight knit.
It's like 500 brothers over time, man.
Yeah, and I feel like you can leave for a few years and just walk back in and like, jump into the drills. No one would care.
Throughout my whole career, there have been guys that because we have the state champs from 2008 and 2009 on the wall.
Oh yeah,
and like some random guy will walk in and he hasn't been in the room since 2013.
Yeah,
it's like, hey, what's up, man? It's just like he's back home.
Does he throw a singlet on? No. That would be sweet.
No, but it's awesome because I always feel welcome there.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Definitely.
And that's a great feeling.
Cool. So let's talk about these goals, man. There's
a lot on there.
We were, we had some yearly goals. We had some monthly goals. I just wanted to first off say that, so one of my goals that I've been trying to work on for the last couple of months was, just be more fit, be more active. I guess not be more active. I'm pretty active, but just have fitness become more of a lifestyle for me rather than I should probably go to the gym, So I was going at it hard, and I don't know if it's just overuse or what, but it happens to me every single time. I go really steady. I do really well for a couple weeks, and then it's like I pretty much immobilize myself for a week to a week and a half. And I've come to the realization that I'm just going to not focus on any sort of weightlifting for a while because that's what does it every single time. So
at least you caught yourself before it got even worse, though,
Yeah, it was bad there for a minute. Ask Candace. It was every day. She's having to do piriformis release on me because my sciatic was so messed up, and it's just bad, And then I sit all day for work, So, anyways, I'm focusing more on just doing a lot of stretches, a lot of yoga, or I shouldn't say a lot of yoga, but a lot of body weight exercises. And then also yoga, and just really try to focus on flexibility and building more core strength, and then see what happens down the road. But I feel like with that and a good, healthy, whole food diet, a lot of things could happen for me for the better, as opposed to just, because I'll get to the point to where that happens to me regularly, and I just get discouraged, and then I ditch the whole thing.
Yeah,
I don't want to do that. I want to just modify it and do what works for me.
Dude, body weight workouts are completely fine too. I have so many teammates at Michigan State. They're like, yeah, I never lifted until I got here my freshman year. Yeah. I was like, really? They said body weight their whole life. I go, I believe it, because back in high school, during our COVID years, we didn't have weightlifting or anything.
Yeah.
We'd have Zoom meetings, and Coach Kim would just grind us through some body weight workouts, and they're tough, man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and I feel like also, since I golf so much, I feel like it will help with that a lot, too.
Calisthenics are the way to go sometimes.
Yeah, and I just I would like to be more flexible, more limber, and not I don't want to be that guy, because I'm already that guy, where it's if I'm sitting for longer than a half hour, it's when I get up, it takes everything in me not to ache or make some sort of old man noise. Every time I kneel down, everything pops and cracks. It's just I got to get some more mobility or flexibility and just be more limber. That's kind of the new goal for.
Have you ever seen those little mini treadmills that you can put at your office desk?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Those are kind of neat.
Those are cool.
Maybe look into it.
Yeah, and I also was thinking about getting more into swimming too.
Swimming?
Yeah. just for like a full body workout to stay loose and limber. And,
so much respect for swimmers, dude.
oh, dude, it's crazy.
That is hard.
Yeah, it is.
It's hard.
Definitely. Yeah, so that, and then, I've been, I have focused a lot this year on trying to build a following. It's increased a little bit, but my biggest thing was just trying to be consistent no matter what.
And I think me and you have been doing a great job.
That's what I was going to say, yeah.
Especially with the Grateful Golf Club readings and the daily readings from the heart from the Dalai Lama.
Yeah.
I love that. You're doing it every single day.
Yeah, and I think I was getting discouraged for a while because, it was like nothing's really happening. Like I'm not getting really any followers. I'm not getting a lot of likes. We're not getting a lot of attention. However, like it's extremely consistent. It's on a daily basis. You always know it's going to be there. And that was kind of my main objective anyways. Like I needed to put us out there every single day, no matter what. And there's days where it's like, it's like I forget because, I do work full time and I'm doing all this other stuff. And so that's why I just wanted to come up with some sort of simple thing to create daily content. And I feel like I've done a really good job. And then adding you've taken it to another level with your like basically day to day on campus at practice, all of those videos. TikTok is so cool. Like it makes it to where like you can do all these things and create content, but in a very simple way. Right. And everything is at your fingertips. You don't have to run it through an editing program. You don't have to, record audio and video separate. It's just a very simple way and very quick way, very convenient way to get content out there on a daily basis. And then you can just share across all the platforms, so it's a win-win.
Like we might not have a huge following, but trust me, people know what Process 34 is because like all of my teammates come up to me and they'll just look at me and go, Process 34.
Exactly.
They know.
Yeah. And and it's not about that. If it happens, it happens. Right. So, but our biggest thing was just just sharing us. Yeah. We're just going to share us, and if you guys want a part of it, if it helps you, awesome. If not, hopefully something else will. But exactly. We're just sharing our stories. We're just sharing our experiences. So, but yeah, that was a big deal for me, and I think we've both done a really good job, like you said, with that.
What do you think keeps you going with it though?
What do you mean?
Because like I have a bunch of my friends, they'll come up to me and stuff and be like, "Hey man, I love the videos you're posting on TikTok. Like I was just watching this one the other day." Then they describe the video to me like, "Oh, they actually did watch it and stuff." Mm-hmm. And they just give me insights. Like my buddy James McCarthy is like telling me what I should do, like maybe some more things so I can get more likes on TikTok and stuff.
Yeah.
So like that kind of stuff that just motivates me and keeps me going. It's like, wow, people are like really listening, and it's cool.
I think a lot of that too. And it always happens. This is what makes me know in my heart that we're doing the right thing, is because every time I question it, I'm like, I don't know, man. You know what I mean? Like I got a lot going on. Like, I can skip a day and nobody will even notice. What am I not going to get the 14 likes or, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, and then literally within 24 hours, I'll get a text or I'll get a message from somebody, or somebody will buy a journal, and then somebody will post a review. It's just somebody reaches out to me, or somebody says like, "Hey," or "Thank you," or we just checked out Process 34, or "Hey," they'll just approach me without even mentioning Process 34 and just kind of come off the chest with something like,
yeah,
and come to me for like guidance. That happens or something.
A lot. Yeah, and that's the same thing with me.
So that in itself is like really cool, and it makes you feel, good knowing that someone else, you could help somebody else. Yeah. Somebody else could benefit from, what you've learned, what you've experienced. So
I'm glad you said that, because I kind of feel the same exact way as you. So mm-hmm. I just wanted to know.
Yeah, that's my biggest thing. Like I for a while, I guess I still do every once in a while. I'll get caught up in these. I'll get caught up in the numbers. I'll get caught up in the likes and. And I was actually just talking to Josh about this the other day, because, he was pretty heavy into social media and doing, daily content when he had his old company. And you become, you get to a point where you're just sick of it. It's like, God, social media, it can be very off-putting, but if you're using it the right way and for the right reasons, and people are actually getting help from it, even if it's just one person a month, that's one more person, and that's really, like, at the end of the day, it's like, how much time did you really spend on everything? You're not spending, hours and hours every day. You're just little posts here and there, messages. We do one podcast a month. We're both busy people, but we like to do this as well, so that's kind of like how I view it. Yeah. And whatever comes of it, comes of it.
That's what lights the fire.
Exactly.
I love that.
Just helping people. How about your goals, buddy?
So I've been starting to do real estate for 30 minutes a day now.
Okay.
So I got finals out of the way. Like, wrestling's calming down a little bit. Everything's not as chaotic. So I'm like, okay, I got to really hone in and do real estate for a half hour every day, because I need to start making some money. And that's just, I'm very passionate about it too. Like, I love like watching stuff about real estate. I love talking about it. I love hearing things about it and just really studying it. It's like, it kind of fascinates me. I don't know. And I feel like it's an industry that will never go away, because everyone needs a home, right? So that just feels reliable for it. And with wrestling, I just want to really trust myself more, because I feel like I wrestled at Cleveland State this month, and I got my butt kicked. And I learned a lot from that. And I just want to like take more risks, because I already have gotten my shell a lot with wrestling at State, but I feel like there's just more to it, and like I'm still not reaching my full potential. So I just want to get out of my shell more. So I've been watching a ton of wrestling. So with that, I've just been studying it, and when I go to practice, I try new moves. Like, I'm not hitting the same moves all the time anymore. I'm just like getting out of my comfort zone, trying new things, and I just feel like that's been helping out a lot, taking more risk.
Like more free.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah, because I've always like wrestled super tight and stuff. It's like, man, loosen up a little bit.
Yeah. Like kind of more like wrestling to not lose instead of wrestling to win.
That's exactly how it's been.
Yeah.
Always just been scared of losing. Like, bro, just go out there and score points.
Yeah.
So that's going to be my new goal.
Good.
Just wrestling,
that's awesome.
Wrestling a little bit more free.
What has been, like, for you, what has been the biggest challenge from high school wrestling to college wrestling?
No one stops moving.
Really?
Like, no one ever stops moving. So you have to wrestle through every single position. I was actually talking with one of the alumni after practice today. It's like, yeah, man, like, what have you taken from it? It's the same question. So it's just not moving the top and bottom. If you can't get away from bottom, you're going to lose. If you can stay on top of them, you're going to win. And the hand fighting. So like there's no hanging out anymore. You got to constantly move your hands left and right. Use your legs while you're moving and stuff. There's so much to it, man.
Yeah, it's like a whole other world.
Yeah. I'm taking it with a grain of salt though.
Yeah. What what have you improved on the most?
Wrestling through positions.
Wrestling through positions.
Like, no hesitation.
Yeah.
So that's been the biggest thing right now. And I feel like I've been getting a little better on top.
Good.
Yeah, a little bit.
That's been like your like kryptonite.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Really, yeah. So I've been working a lot on that over break, because one of the alumni, John Penfold, and one of the attrition coaches, he's like big brother to me, man.
Yeah.
He's been helping me a ton on top, and that dude, he's good on top.
Why, like, what do you think? Why do you think you struggle with it so much?
I don't know. It's like, it's hard to hold a grown man down.
Yeah.
So, and it's just like all like hip pressure and stuff. You got to learn forward pressure. And I feel like my biggest thing has always been like trying to suck them back into me.
Okay.
But I got to get weight on their hands. So like they have weight on them and they don't have weight coming back on them.
So you want to try to keep like their weight on their upper body instead of their lower. Yeah. Okay.
So it's hard to get up when you're like bent over like this, you know?
Yeah, well, that's what I was wondering, because I mean, yeah, obviously it's hard to keep a grown man down, yeah, but like it has to be some sort of like your technique or your positioning or something that you are gonna have to improve on or something to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so it's a lot of like clinging on their hips.
Okay.
Your hips move your whole body.
Yeah.
So if you immobilize their hips, they're not going anywhere.
That makes sense. Cool. Well, so 2023, man, what a year. It has flown by. It has completely flown by. We're already on season 2 of the Process 34 podcast, which is crazy because when I started the first one, season 1, it was just kind of like, just sat down with a microphone and a camera and just started talking, and had no idea where I was going to go after that. And it was a pretty good and successful season 1. And then season 2 came along, and it's like, let's change things up. We wanted to focus a little bit more on, student athletes and mental health within athletes in general, but also make it, still accessible for everyone.
Yeah.
It's been great. Season 2 now. Did a lot of great things, like I said, for the old Newsboys. We were successful at creating content on a daily basis, like we discussed, and getting some new followers. And something that I wanted to wait until the end of the year to share. I started going back to school. So started going back to school part-time because it had always, it's just been nagging at me for years and years that I never finished getting my degree. So I'm like, I don't even care what happens. I just want to get my degree. Like, it feels like it's something like I should have one. I feel like I'm capable of getting one. I've always wanted to have one. Even almost 40 years old, why can't I get one? Mm-hmm. And so signed up for school. And I am going into semester 3 now.
There you go.
I wanted to wait and kind of see how it all went. And I was extremely, extremely nervous to start, just because I'm like, dude, it is like, I know I'm pretty smart and I'll figure stuff out, but it's like, it's been a long time since I've been in a school setting, mm-hmm. Since I've been in a classroom setting, even though it's all online. Being able to say, like, hey, you got to do this, but you got to do it exactly like this. No matter how you figure it out, it doesn't matter, because you got to do it my way, and it's due by this date, is like, that was making me nervous because, anyways, started off, got a 4.0 semester 1. Semester 2, I'm like, I'm going to take a little bit more challenging classes to actually go towards the, because I want to get a degree in psychology. So I took some harder classes this semester, and it started rough. Like, my psychology teacher was not like, she was not here to like, hey, just get a passing grade, let's go. It was every quiz, every test, every reading was challenging, mm-hmm. and you had to put your time and energy into it. And it started rough. It started really rough. I was like, I think I got like 50% on my first 3 things. And I'm like, what am I doing wrong? Yeah. So I actually reached out to her. I'm like, look, like, you're creating these study guides. 90% of the stuff's not on the quiz or test. I was like, you're giving us a study guide with like, that is not benefiting us at all. And she was like, well, kind of, without saying it, like, read between the lines. This is a guide. This is not the test, basically. And I'm like, okay, so she was like, as long as you do all of your reading, and she just kept like saying, all of your reading, all of it, mm-hmm. read all of your emails, read every single thing I put out in the module. Even if you think it's nothing, read it, watch it, whatever. And ever since I started doing that, it was just grades started going up. So I ended up getting a 3.75 this semester.
There you go, man.
And next semester I'm taking even harder classes. So I'm just like, I'm not trying to take harder classes. It's just kind of the way the path is going. But I was like, well, I got to take a math class. I only need one more math class. I hate math. Let's just do it right now. Let's just get it over with. And I didn't want to do it in the spring or summer because those are accelerated, like mm-hmm. the time. So I wanted more time with the math, because those accelerated classes, they just throw a lot at you at once.
What math is it?
It's like quantitative algebra. I don't know. It hurts my head just reading the title of it, So, I'm not looking forward to that one at all. But like I said, I was terrified to start semester 1, and I'm carrying like almost a 4.0 into semester 3. So it's like, I know I can do it. Right. I just got to do it. But it's all online. I've been going part-time. Just do it at night, on the weekends, whatever. It's, literally takes like 3-4 hours a week, probably, if that. And it's been going awesome, and it makes me feel really, really good. Makes me feel like, it's like, oh, okay, still does work up here, because you get into, especially like with my job and stuff, it becomes monotonous and, kind of dumbs you down to some degree, so it's like, I hope this thing still works properly up here, and
You're opening up your mind just doing it.
Yeah, and it's going really well, and I'm really happy. So got that going.
Yeah, I got to take trig next semester, man.
Oof, yeah.
Hey, but Math 103, algebra, I'm done.
You're done?
I'm done with algebra for the rest of my life. I did it.
Nice.
Did the thing.
Excellent.
It's over. Passed it.
What else? How'd everything else go for your 2023?
It didn't go bad. I ended with a 3.2 something.
Yeah.
So I wasn't too upset about that at all. I would have liked a 3.5 or a 3.4, but I was doing a lot of stuff, so
Right.
no excuses. But 2023, man, what a year.
Yeah.
I graduated high school, so that was awesome.
Nice.
I was an all-state wrestler. I took 4th in the state, and I accomplished my dreams. I committed to a D1 college.
So cool.
That was the coolest part back in April. And then even bigger, I made the team as a walk-on.
Yeah.
So back in November, I got the news. He made the team. That was like such a weight lifted off my shoulders. We talked about that on the first episode or second episode.
I think it was the second
Yeah,
one.
I think it was the second one too. And then completed my first semester at college and joined Process 34 with you. So this whole journey of 2023, man, it's been without a doubt the best year of my life.
Really?
Just so many things happening and stuff. It's been so cool.
Yeah, it's been fun. You did a lot of traveling too. You went to some cool places.
I did. Went to Boston with my mom.
Yeah.
And then just traveling for wrestling in general.
Yeah.
It's pretty sweet.
And then where'd you go for spring break?
Cabo.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was pretty cool.
First time traveling out of the country. That was an experience.
Yeah, it's been like 2023. It's been a really weird. I feel like every year has been weird. Like COVID just made everything crazy. It's every year has been strange and has gone by really fast. But I feel like both of us were able to make the most out of this year.
I feel like 2023 was the most normal out of the 20 so far.
Yeah, it definitely got.
But what's
more normal? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is it more normal, or are we just more lenient on what we're accepting here as normal?
Adapted a little more to it.
Yeah. So, everything's way more expensive. So that's been nice to adjust to, but it's been it has definitely been a cool year, and watching you grow, watching me grow, the girls, Candace, Josh, man. I actually just got to hang out with Josh finally. Josh is the third person that started this with us, as obviously Brady knows, but and he lives in Los Angeles, so I don't get to see him very often. He's been out there for 18 years, my best friend, and he came in. He's in town actually right now still for the holiday season. I got to spend some time with him, and it was so funny because we're like, hey, let's go. He's like, I haven't been downtown Flint forever. Let's go grab a coffee or something. So trying to figure out where to go. We ended up going down to Totem Bookstore. And Totem Bookstore used to be a liquor store called Northwest Drugstore that was owned and operated by another friend of ours, Fredo. So we used to hang out there a lot through high school and everything.
He's boys with Snoop Dogg, right?
Yeah.
Or something like that?
Yeah.
That's sweet.
His cousin's famous producer out there, so he knows all of them. But cool. So we used to hang out there all the time. Now it is a bookstore, Totem Bookstore, with coffee and everything. Really, really cool place in Flint.
Some nice records too.
Yeah, definitely. It's just a cool spot in general. It's like everything's new or everything's used, some new stuff. But anyways, we're sitting there, we're drinking coffee, and this guy's pushing this cart with some books, and he gets closer and closer, and I'm like, dude, that's Justin, So it's a friend of ours, Justin, that we haven't seen in a long time, and just happened to work there. We had no idea. So we're like, hey man, we're just talking about everything, pretty much it wasn't a lot of good things. We were in high school, we didn't do the greatest things, but we were just talking about all the stuff we used to do at this store, and we used to hang out down here, and that would you would just go down to Fredo's store, and that's how you started your night, and then everybody would meet up there, and then you went wherever. So Justin's like, oh, come check out the basement, man. You got to check this out. And we're like, all right, so he takes us around on this tour, and haven't been there since, like I said, high school. And we walk down the stairs in the basement of this bookstore, and there's just piles of books everywhere. And there's two guys hunched over laptops. And he's like, this is so-and-so, and this is Pat. And this guy, Pat, looks up, and we're like, are you kidding me right now? It was our friend Pat that we went to school with that we hadn't seen in years, you know. So we ended up having like this reunion downstairs in the basement of this bookstore in Flint. And it was really cool, you know, like we were all laughing and reminiscing, and it was totally unexpected. We were just going to go there and have a coffee and catch up, me and him in person. We talk every day, but we haven't been in person with each other in probably 5 years, I would imagine.
Since your wedding?
No, I've seen him since then, but it's just since before COVID. I think it was probably 18 or something was the last time I saw him. But just totally unexpected, and it was really neat though to see all of us together. I don't think all four of us have ever been together in the same room because like we hung out with Pat, and then me and Josh hung out with Justin, but we weren't all friends together, you know. So, and then those two ended up working together. Like, what are the odds of that? You know, it's just it was really neat and really cool. Like, you get further on down the road, like you were saying, seeing all your buddies home from college and stuff, and then sooner or later, you know, that's going to go away too, and you're just going to run into each other out in public like this, you know, and it's like, holy shit, what have you been up to, man? You know, it's really neat.
I was just grateful because like we were all at my house, and we were just sitting on my kitchen island for literally 5 hours talking, just telling stories and stuff about high school, about things that have happened in college. And it was super cool because at college you meet so many new people. Yeah. Like my wrestling teammates are some of my new best friends on my team now. Like people I met in my classes, just in general, social life. And I just meet all these people, but like you come home and it's like, man, those are your boys. Yeah. Like you grew up with those kids. Yep. These guys are my boys. So
it's like comforting too, you know. It's like, it's like you know,
it's great to meet all those new people, but when you come home, you're like, okay, these are my real men.
Yeah, and you feel more at home probably too. Do. Yeah, that's awesome.
Not even metaphorically speaking, because we were in my home.
Yeah, exactly. So 2023 also taught me that I can literally do anything I want. Yeah. And that's such a good and relieving feeling. Not that I didn't know that, it's just, you know, you second guess yourself a lot. And the older you get, I think it happens even more to where you get enthralled in this pattern, this rat race of life where it's just like, okay, this is it now. Mm-hmm. This is my life, you know, and you know, it's like, what do I look forward to now? What can I, you know, it's like you got to always kind of challenge yourself, and you got to always kind of test your limits in a positive way, in a good way, in a healthy way. Yeah. And I'm so glad I did. I got outside my comfort zone in a lot of ways this year, a lot of ways. And I could not be more happy. I've learned so much about myself, a lot of things I forgot about myself. And I've also taught myself, you know, like, doing this right now, I would not have done this a year ago. I would not have done this 2 years ago. I would have rather just, you know, I would have been stubborn, you know, that's stupid, or I've not even tried, you know. So I could not be more happy and satisfied that I have tried these new things and they're paying off. And some of them, the crazy thing about it is like a lot of things that you're like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And it's like 3 of them will just implode immediately, and you end up doing something completely different than what you originally set out to do. But had you not have tried the first thing, you would have never got to the second, third, and fourth thing.
Right. What were you saying about how you started this? You just picked up a mic and you put a camera in front of your face. That was literally the hardest part.
Yeah. Do you remember that?
I do.
Like I literally just sat and I'm like, I don't even know what I'm going to say. Like I wrote this thing. It was so funny. Like I remember just writing. And I'm like, all right. So I put the mic on, you know, and I'm just like, dude, I'm just reading this thing. And I like finished and then I played it back and I'm like, this is terrible. Like I'm literally just reading this thing, like, and I'm so nervous. Like I'm not pausing. I'm just, you know, and it's like, it's just blabber. So I'm like, all right, I literally just crumpled it up and threw it away and wrote down like 5 or 6 bullet points and just like, let's see what happens, and have done it that way ever since.
It's different though, because I remember the first time I did it, was it episode 2 or 3 in the first season? Yeah. I remember like, dude, I talk to you every day. You're my dude, and like it was nerve-wracking. It was weird. Like my voice was trembling and everything. I was forgetting everything.
It is, and it's like even when we did season 2, we went and recorded episode 1 at your dorm.
Yeah,
and
that was weird.
That was the same way too, though. But it was like we've already done this. Both of us done this before together. We had already done 2 podcasts together at that point, and it was like we were all fine. Everything was cool. We were being normal. You seemed normal, and then as soon as the lights turned on and I hit record, it was just like we kind of both froze up, and it was just like I don't know where to go. We didn't prepare very well for it, but still, it was just like it was bad. It was really bad. So that's kind of how we like ended up changing the format of it, and was like, let's just do a virtual one because, like you definitely do have time and you can find time, but it's like, is it really necessary to sit in this room together to do a podcast every month? Like we can do it virtually. It's okay. This is nice though. Yeah. Like shout out to the, the old Process 34 days,
Nice. This is comfortable. This is like where we started.
Yeah. And it's so funny too, because it's like, it seems like I haven't done a podcast in this room in years, but it's like all of these podcasts have been in 23. Yeah. That's so strange, it is strange. When I think about it. So weird.
Well, except Dr. Peabody.
Yes.
Yeah, you did it at her place though.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like in general, like this podcast, I feel like I've been doing it for a few years now.
Yeah.
And I just started it this year. Yeah, it's so strange. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's been cool, man.
So that's cool. What I've learned is that nothing happens overnight, and I have to be patient with everything in life. So I've learned, like, even through wrestling, like I get so on myself, like, man, I'm doing this, and this wrong. But I was watching videos of myself wrestling like 2 years ago and last year, and I just see I know the way I wrestle now. I'm like, man, that's just like, that's a totally different kid.
Yeah.
And it's cool to see how far I've come, how much better I've gotten, and just staying consistent over time and just never taking a break and just constantly putting myself in uncomfortable positions. And I've grown so much mentally and physically with the sport. And that just goes with like milestones, accomplishments, wealth, relationships. Nothing happens overnight, I've learned. So you just have to take everything with a grain of salt, like I said earlier.
Yeah. And you've been doing great. And I'm glad that you have that you can be aware of that, because especially in sports, in competition in general, like when you lose, it has a more impactful meaning than when you just fail something outside of sports.
I learned so much more from failing.
Yeah.
And everyone
knows. And that's where I was trying to get at. Like that's huge, because a lot of people don't. A lot of people focus so much on I lost. Yeah. I lost. I failed. I lost. I failed.
Like I got my ass
negative.
I got my ass handed to, was it probably 4 weeks or three and a half weeks ago now at Cleveland State. And I'm a totally different wrestler compared to then. Like I've changed so many different things just from those 2 matches.
Yeah. Because you don't have like failing and losing and falling, all of those things, they don't have to be negative. They may sound negative, but I think that's just the way that we embrace it as a society. But they don't have to be. You can learn something from all of these. There's always a silver lining, and if you can sit back and like you're not going to be happy for a little while. Maybe just take the night. I'm mad, I'm upset. And then the next morning, that's gone. That day is over. That match is over. What did I do wrong? What did I not do well? What areas do I need to improve on? Because obviously if you're losing, there's areas that you probably need to improve on, right? Even when you're winning, there's areas that you need to improve on. So
it's always the what are you going to do about it factor.
Exactly. And most people, myself included, have always chose in the past to dwell on it and let it eat you up, and you have too. So the way that you've grown into this new mindset is huge. It speaks volumes. That's awesome.
Yeah. And another big thing, when I'm at practice, I used to always think like, I need to lose this much weight, I need to do this, I need to wear this many layers. No more. When I'm at wrestling, I'm focused on wrestling. I cut weight at my own time.
Good.
So that's a big part that I've learned in 2023. Because like in the past, obviously, that's never been the case. I was just fixated on a number, and then I had to get to that number and not focusing on what I love.
What would you credit that to? Like just the staff at Michigan State helping you out with that?
Because like the very first week that we had to make weight parameters, I was wearing layers at freaking morning practice, and Willie comes up to me. He's like, "What are you doing?" I gotta get down. He goes, "Listen, I know it's hard, but this is your last strike. Like you're not allowed to do this. When we're here, we're focused on wrestling only. Cut weight in your own time."
Nice.
Yeah. So I love that.
Has it helped though? Has it helped, or has it like made it worse as far as like mentally?
Helps so much.
It helps, does it?
It's like a weight lifted off the shoulders, because you're not worried about how much I need to lose. You're just focused on wrestling. And when you're focused on that, you end up like losing more weight because you're focused on wrestling, and wrestling does take a lot out of you.
Does it put more pressure on you outside of wrestling?
Yeah, it does. But that's for me to worry about. That's like
it's kind of like an accountability.
That's what I signed up for. So, and I manage it well. Like I'll just put on a hoodie, run on the treadmill for a half hour, and I benefit myself from it because I watch wrestling the entire time.
What are you at right now? Like 190?
No. Those Christmas cookies.
Right?
No, I'm only at like 177. So
that's not bad.
Not bad at all.
Yeah. It's like we were together on Christmas Eve, and like he spent half the night just at the counter next to the cookie tray. I was just shoveling them in. He was like, "What's this one? What's this one?"
Have you tried that one yet? What's that taste like?
They're so good though, man. I like gingerbread. That's my vice, man. At the holidays, as my like, you can literally anything gingerbread, I'll eat it. But it's got to be the soft gingerbread. Like that hard gingerbread, I'm not a fan of. Like the ginger snaps or whatever.
Eat all of it. That's all you do.
Yeah, I'll take it, man. I'll take all of it.
Stuff's gross.
So some goals for the new year. I'm going to keep it short and sweet because I know they're going to change, and I don't really try to focus too much on like creating a New Year's resolution because I always just set up myself for failure because I try to do way too much. So I'm going to keep it really simple. These are my goals for the new year, amongst other smaller ones, but for sure want to keep advancing towards getting my degree, over halfway there. So that's nice. And then just keep progressing with that. I would like to get a bachelor's and take it from there. And just, I just want that sense of accomplishment. I want that degree in my pocket. Just I really, really, really want to keep this consistent, like, I wouldn't say gym life, but just healthy, balanced lifestyle of working out my way and just a good, healthy diet. And not like, not trying to drop a bunch of LBs. It's mainly like I want to eat better. I want to eat more whole foods. Better. Yeah, it's like I'm getting to that point where it's like, I can't just sit around and I can't, which I don't really sit around, but it's like I got to watch what I eat because, it can cause inflammation. And
you're pushing 40.
Yeah, exactly, man. I'm getting old, dude. And I got a desk job. It's like I sit there all day. And so like being active, being limber is going to be huge for me. And then just, making sure I eat healthy, good, whole foods, to get some nutrition in me. I eat a lot of empty calories, I noticed, and then it's like, why am I still hungry? And it's like, well, you haven't really ate anything today. It's all just been processed bullshit. So what do you expect, And last but not least is just to continue on this pathway of helping as many people as possible, whether it be through charity work, service work, Process 34, just trying to be a good person every day. I still have a lot of work to do. There's still days where the old me will show up and it's like, chill out, man, go back, like we don't act like this anymore. But it's hard
in that head.
It's hard, and you gotta, I feel like as long as I can just try every day to be better, just a little bit better than I was the day before or just as good, as long as I'm not regressing, then it was a good day. And that's pretty much it. I just like, that's goal number one. It's to just be a good person.
I love that. And I'm not going to do any New Year's resolutions either because I always thought that was bullshit. Like, just get after it. If you want to, you tell yourself to do something, don't wait until the new year. Just do it now. I've never understood.
You can have a goal every day.
Exactly.
It doesn't have to be a New Year's.
Exactly. I love that. No, but 2024, I just want to keep on spreading positivity and advocate Process 34 to student athletes and just people in general because, man, this stuff saved my life, saved Cody's life, Josh's life, and just everyone that does it. I only hear good things about it. So I want to keep on keeping on with school, wrestling, excelling, and adapting to my new semester classes. So that'll be different for sure. And opening it up more in wrestling, taking more risk, like I said earlier, and then get my real estate license, of course. But like you said, capitalizing off that, piggybacking off that, just being a better person, working on myself, and helping others as much as I can because I just want to be a better person every day.
Yeah, no, I think if you do that, then I think everything else falls into line, you know. So I forgot to ask you though, what classes are you taking this semester? I know you mentioned the other night. I totally forgot though.
No, all good. Damn. So I'm taking a trigonometry, like I said, and then I'm taking a chemistry class, organic chemistry, and then I have a chemistry lab. So it's like three different chemistries. It's a ton of stuff. Then I'm taking an advertising class, which is online, and then a writing class.
Okay.
Yep.
I got the algebra class and then biology class. So science and math.
If you need help with algebra, I can't help you.
Yeah, I'm probably Olivia, man.
Yeah,
my daughter, she's in 8th grade and she's crushing it right now. She's actually, I think she's still in algebra, but
no, she is.
Yeah,
I saw her homework the other
and she's
night.
a genius. So I'll just ask her. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this next semester. I'm really liking being able to just, like I said, go back to school and learn. You know, it's like, what am I trying to say? I guess the best way to say is like, there's times where it's like, you know, what am I going to do? What can I do? I'm, you know, not necessarily feel stuck, but it's just, I always kind of felt like there's something like missing, you know, and I always, you can ask Candace for whatever reason, would always come back or revert back to school, getting a degree. So she's like, just do it. Just go. You know what I mean?
So has that always been like a gut feeling?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's every single time I start feeling like that, it's the first thing that pops up in my mind is you should register for school. You should go back to school. And this is like, you know, like my 12th attempt, I think. And the first 11, like, you know, it was like maybe a semester. I think I made it 2 one time, but I would always have W's. I'd always have zeros. And I would just stop. I would just give up. You know, it was like I chose making bad decisions and, you know, life, you know, a lifestyle over trying to prepare myself for the future, you know? So, yeah, it's going really good and it feels good to be back. And it's so funny. Like, yeah, I don't think it'll be a big deal if I mention it, but, Brady like sends me a screenshot this past semester. It was like the first week of school and you kind of had to like introduce yourself and everything on this discussion board. And, he sends me a screenshot from one of his buddies that is still in high school that you played sports with, and it's like a screenshot of my answer on the discussion board, and it's like, hey man, you got a class with one of my boys. I just started dying laughing because I'm like, oh my god, like here we go. I got like I'm
so
in.
Funny. I remember that.
Yeah, but the good thing about like especially the online school and it being, you know, a community college is you know, there's people from everywhere and there's people from every walks of life. Like the discussion board, like some of them would be like kids, like, you know, I had a music history of rock and roll class, and it was like, you know, I think it was Pink Floyd, and half the class was just like, I've never heard of this guy and blah blah. It's like, well, first of all, it's a band, it's not just a guy. Some of them thought that the guy, it was a guy and his name was Pink Floyd. And you know, it was blowing my mind. I was like, how have you guys never heard of Pink Floyd? You know,
I'm glad they took that class.
Yeah, exactly. And then it would turn and it would be like something like Ariana Grande or something was mentioned, I think. And like a couple of the people were like, I've never heard of this, but I know my daughter has it on her iPod or something, you know, and I'm just like, oh, this is my crowd right here, you know, but yeah, it's funny, but it's been really cool. And you forget how like when you have a class, like I noticed it's something I always used to be like subconscious, like self-conscious about was, like if you do a presentation and you like, you know, it's like, oh my God, I don't want to get up and present in front of all these people and and then it's like, everyone's got to do it.
Yeah.
Everyone's got to do it. And more than likely the person who's going to make fun of you is probably either going to A, take a 0 because they're too afraid to do it, or B, they're going to get up and they're 10 times more afraid than what you are. You know what I mean? So that has helped me come out of my shell as well. And then also like just the camaraderie that you get, because I've noticed, you know, like that's one of my most favorite things, like, or differences, I should say, from high school and junior high and everything to college. is you have way more support. I feel like, in a classroom setting, I feel like all of you guys support each other, and you kind of have each other's back and you help each other. Where in high school, it's like, like, no, dude, you're not part of this clique. Don't even try it. Or like, we're not working with that person, or this person gets up and they're just putting themselves out there, and you got people in the corner cracking jokes, and it's like that stuff doesn't happen in college.
It doesn't.
No,
because everyone signed up for the same thing.
Exactly. Yeah. Now it's serious. It's like we're not here to pass. We're here to get a degree so we can make something of ourselves.
Like for me, when you're in a lecture room with 150 kids and maybe 3 people from a different school,
exactly,
you know them mutually.
Exactly. So, and everyone's terrified.
Yeah.
Everybody's terrified.
Dude, there's one it was like our first presentation. So like we were put into groups in my philosophy class at the beginning of the semester, and that was my group all semester. And we'd present and stuff like a good once a month or something like that. All these discussions, and one kid literally passed out. He was so nervous.
Yeah.
Like he was talking, his voice was trembling and stuff, and he froze up, face planted on the ground.
Yeah.
And like we just ended class.
It's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot.
It's nerve-wracking.
So yeah, kind of got off the beaten path there, but basically, 2023 has been a great year, and this has just kind of been a recap of it. And as always, we're sharing all this stuff. We're sharing a conversation between ourselves right now, in hopes to, that you guys can take something out of it, that you can see that anything is possible. If you're a middle-aged person and you want to challenge yourself, or you're feeling you're not getting enough out of life, go back to school, do something, challenge yourself. If you're, an athlete and you're having a hard time and, you're losing or you can't figure it out, sit down, write some stuff out, figure it out, and pay attention to what made you lose. Pay attention to what you did wrong or what you should have done that you need to do differently next time. So, and
don't be afraid to like talk to your coaches and reach out. That was my biggest thing. Like especially if you're a freshman and you have new coaches and stuff, and you're in a new environment, reach out to them. They recruited you for a reason. You're on their team for a reason. They want to help you be the best athlete you can be.
Yeah.
And just for everyone watching, 2024, if you're afraid of change, please don't be afraid of change.
Yeah, put yourself out there.
Change is the best thing anyone can ask for, and it's honestly a gift. So if you ever get comfortable, get uncomfortable.
And that's kind of, you couldn't have said any better. That's kind of where I was trying to get to and couldn't find the word to say it. Change is okay. It's okay to change, and it's okay to put yourself out there. And we are both good examples of that. I was terrified to do it, and I just kept telling myself to do things, and almost on a monthly basis I was doing something different or challenging myself in a different way. And we're at the end of the year now, and I couldn't be more happy. I could not be more satisfied and thrilled that I made those choices, that I put myself out there. And you're just opening up tons of other possibilities when you do that. All sorts of opportunities will arise. So thank you to everyone out there that has been giving us support. Thank you. We appreciate you. To all of our subscribers, our followers, everything. We appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. If you have not yet subscribed, please head over to YouTube right now. You can find us on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. Podcast is on Apple and Spotify, and you can also pick up a 34-day challenge journal on Amazon if you are trying to figure out a good way to get into it. Things aren't going your way and you need a change. Pick up a journal, challenge yourself for 34 days. See what happens. I guarantee you will not dislike the results.
Yep. If you ever have any questions, DM me or Cody personally, or at Process34 on any social media thing, whatever. Do it, man.
Absolutely.
We're always here to help out, and you can always help us out too, answering your questions.
Definitely. And thank you, Josh Jones and family, once again. We appreciate you helping us out this month. It was a blessing, and here's to 2024, man. Can't wait. I cannot wait. Let's go.
I'm excited for it.
All right. We'll see you guys next month. Have a good one.
Peace out.